Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sippin Selling
with Joey Chanel. Hey guys, it's Joey Chanel with Sippin Selling. Today I have my first Zoom duo, dynamic duo, with a tequila product that I love called Nada. I have my friends Adam Millman and Danny Neeson. Welcome, guys.
What's going on?
Well, Joey, thanks for having us.
You're welcome. Thanks for being here. I know we've been trying to get this in the works for some time now, and we just said, let's just do a Zoom. Makes it easier to get us three in the same spot at one time. So thanks for doing it. So Adam and Danny, you guys have known each other a long time. I would love for you to walk through your story for the listeners because I think it's very unique, super fun. If you wouldn't mind letting the audience know how this friendship turned into a business.
The boot in New Orleans, Tulane. No, me and Adam met our freshman year in a class called like the Creative Industries, and it was honestly such a fun class because it was just watching movies every Monday, and we had the most like nutty professor.
Oh, nice.
Whose main job was actually a tennis umpire, but he had like a love for the creative industries. So it was like a weekly class where you can kind of, half pay attention. And we were in a class together, sitting beside each other, and we were kind of shooting the shit, and we ended up pledging the same fraternity, living together our junior year with our other close friend Herbert, and we just kind of like hit it off with our love for entrepreneurship and what we wanted to accomplish in life, and shared like the same kind of ethos and whatnot, and kind of the rest is history. But I mean, man, what a place in New Orleans to kind of to be at college and have a good time and meet some amazing people.
I love that. Adam, what did he leave out? Something for sure, because the love of movies. He didn't talk about watching, Cocktail with Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely. I mean, we didn't know many people going into college at Tulane, and we became close friends very quickly. That's really what's kind of unique about our story. But we became friends before we did business or anything else. And we shared a lot of the same values as Danny was saying. So we actually, in that class, in the back of the class, Danny was like sketching t-shirt designs. And he had this idea to create an eco-friendly and sustainable clothing line. And that was really the first entrepreneurship venture that the two of us linked on and figured out together. I came in with Danny as more of the business side of it. He did more of the creative and brand building side, and we merged together to create that brand, which is called Pine Outfitters. And that was our freshman and sophomore year of college. Going into junior and senior, we did a little bit of it as well, and it really taught us a ton about entrepreneurship and how to blend our passions with business and to work together as partners as well.
That's amazing. I actually started in retail also. I did later in life create a clothing line for my kids. It was inspired because I found that there was nothing cool for little boys out there unless I went on Etsy. So that's funny. We have that in common. So you guys still have that clothing line to date, or that was just a college thing and then we moved on to the wonderful world of liquor?
It's no longer an operation. I still think the idea and what the brand stands for is incredible, and I do think the name and what you could do with it has potential. But me and Adam aren't fashion guys. Really, what it was is our love for the outdoors, love for living an active lifestyle, giving back. Every product purchased, we donated a tree planted by the National Forest Foundation and all like kind of the grasslands of the US. So it had a mission behind it. And to Adam's point, we learned so much, especially through the hard way. We were just kind of gullible college students who wanted to have something tangible that's like, oh shit, like we did this, but we had no expertise on fashion, how to generate sales online. We just were assuming, oh, like we'll create some cool clothing pieces and it'll just sell off the shelves. So we had some amazing experiences. Like we had an incredible pop-up in Soho for a week, generated a lot of press. Actually, we killed it that week. And then we did a pop-up with Bloomingdale's. And I remember it's like the typical entrepreneurship struggle, but you kind of figure it out as it goes. I remember for Bloomingdale's, they put in a whole purchase order of like four different kind of SKUs of t-shirts, four different styles of hats, and we had to get like UPC codes and basically be able to determine, which UPC code goes with which hat and which shirt. And I remember the manufacturer labeled everything wrong.
Oh,
The UPC codes for the hats were on the shirts, everything. And we had to ship it off to the Bloomingdale's distribution center the next day, or else we would have been done. And we were up, I'm not even kidding, for I think 26 hours straight, re-tagging everything.
oh,
It was kind of fun because we were like blasting music, we were having some cocktails, like just having a good time. And but it was the most like stressful, fun like memory of all time. It
yeah,
was great. So
for
moments like
sure.
that is what I always remember about with Pine.
That's crazy. I mean, but it makes sense. You know, you hear all those stories, nothing so, to be cheesy, seamless. But I'm assuming that those struggles helped you guys moving forward with your bottle and your cork and your label with Nada Tequila. How many years after did you graduate and then you went into this next business venture together, or did this also start in college?
So Denata was really born out of our passion for hospitality, and we kind of merged that with our ongoing passion for the environment, which we started with Pine, and we took a lot of those key lessons and learnings into that. So it was actually our junior year of college that we first came up with the idea for Denata, and Danny can get more into this, but it was inspired by New Orleans, the love for hospitality there, and also Danny's personal roots with hospitality, which you can get into. And that process started at our junior year, and then it continued until after we graduated college, to in different phases, obviously, to get our product to market. But it was the start of an amazing journey. It took us a long time from where we were then to where we got to today.
All right, Danny, so it's your time to shine.
Yeah, I
Where
mean, I think what's
hospitality
amazing,
backgrounds, what's that
hospitality,
story?
for me, it's me and Adam always were linked, like with almost. I always talk about our love for entrepreneurship, but really, me and Adam were always dreamers. We still are, and we never see like a task too big that we can't accomplish. We always figure out a way, and I think what's amazing is doesn't matter like where we are. We believe in something, we're gonna do it, and that's kind of how we went along with Donata. We really celebrated those small victories. We literally had no idea how to start a brand, but the passion was there and what we wanted to accomplish was so strong that we just made a roadmap for ourselves. And it took a lot of time. But I think ultimately what was the driving force is to Adam's point, hospitality can mean many things. But I think the underlying motive for me personally was my inspiration for my family. My mother, my father, especially on my mother's side. I was brought up in a household where people came over. We had dinner parties, we had cocktail parties, we had weekends upstate at our country house where people would come. We would have incredible barbecues and spreads of food. But the most important thing is my mom was so detailed with that experience about hosting, having somebody come in and feel as if, God damn, I'm in the right place. This is incredible. And when they leave, they're talking about it to this day. And she has even cookbooks labeled out with detailed recipes, even to the point where it's like, the salad was served a little bit too early. The entree was served just a little bit like hardcore details, but you always had a drink in your hand, and she always made a killer margarita,
Mm.
and she always used Patron. That would have obviously changed. But for me, like I think I'm always chasing that. I always want to. I'm hungry to make people feel the same way that my mother made other people feel, and I didn't know that when we started the brand with Donata, but I think internally I was driven by some higher power. And we're, obviously as a brand, you're always at first you're leading with what you are. Like, oh, we want to be a tequila brand. We want to be competitively priced and we want to be here and there. But it takes a while to understand like what's your why? Like what's your passion? And it took 4 years to kind of get there. And I feel like now we're at a place with Donata where we know why we exist. We know what makes the brand different. And so now our job is to really dumb that down and bring those experiences to the people that enjoy the Donata.
That's beautiful. You referenced your mom. Sounds so wonderful, so inspirational. I hope that my kids speak about me like that. I relate. I love an experience. My mother was not the entertainer. It was definitely my father, and I think that in our industry, like you touched on, it's a feeling, and what memories you can encapsulate in your experience, whether it's at the country farmhouse upstate or it's at the local bar or if it's just in the glass at your home. So I know that Donata's fantastic. But for those of you that haven't tried it yet, please go grab a bottle at Total Wine, or if you're in Texas, Specs, and soon to be many other placements that I'm sure you guys will rattle off that I'm missing because you guys have moved on since these placements and you're growing as fast as the weather's changing here. But I did hear you reference that your mom's favorite drink was a margarita. So is that maybe subconsciously why we chose tequila, or did you guys often partake and that was your cocktail of choice, something, tequila based also?
I mean, I think on the tequila front, there was portion of it as well was the opportunity. I think, going to school, like we weren't, aficionados in any spirit. We kind of just drank what was in front of us, even putting solo cups in large vats that God knows what was in there.
Yeah.
But, me and Adam definitely enjoyed, quality spirits where we could get them, same with beer, wine, whatnot. But with tequilas specifically, I was working for a Discoveryland company for 2 years as valet, golf operations, caddy, this, that, and the other. But the owner of Discoveryland is the gentleman by the name of Mike Mellman, who's one of the original partners in Casamigos. So I remember going into it was summer of 2016 when Casamigos was like just I think signing a deal with Southern whatnot. I think it was still very like private, but they had Casamigos at this property in upstate New York that I worked at. And they educated us about Casamigos and how to serve it. When people get off the 18th hole, you're going to go up with shot glasses of Casamigos Reposado. You're going to explain what it is, how to enjoy it, and like kind of have that, liquid to lips moment. And it kind of took my eye because I'm like, tequila, you don't really think about it. You think of, Patron, Don Julio, the worm in it, whatnot. But I was like, this is like really cool.
Yeah.
But they were, priced a little bit higher. So me and Adam were like, there is a really big opportunity to, I think, create a tequila that speaks to the the younger generation, sustainably, craft wise, and be price pointed at a place where it's not out of reach for somebody who wants to enjoy a high quality tequila.
Wonderful. So you guys started with the Reposado, or did you start with the Blanco? Did you do both simultaneously? And if you want to share where how many times you had to taste different products before you found your favorite, that would be, I think, interesting for the audience.
Yeah, I mean, so on the back of every tequila bottle, there's a 4-digit code called the NOM, the NOM, and that shows you what distillery it's made at. So when we were researching tequilas and really diving deep into the category, we saw the largest opportunity in the additive-free sector, and this was a while ago. So additive-free wasn't as common as it might be today, and it's still largely underrepresented compared to the general population of tequilas. So we ended up going to Mexico and spending time there and partnering with the Vivanco family. It's known 1414, and they've been producing tequila for about 5 generations. It's one of the best distilleries in Mexico, and it really truly is a family operation. It's unbelievable the quality they make there. So when we launched Nada, we did many tastings and iterations with Sergio Cruz and Cesar Vivanco, and we started with both a Blanco and a Reposado. And we're actually launching our Anejo come January. So
Ooh, it.
we're excited about that.
Very
But we
cool.
wanted to start with those two SKUs. We felt, they really represented the expression of Donata that would appeal to the mass audience initially. And we have more SKUs planned now that the brand's starting to take on a new life of its own.
Amazing. So when we met, it was in this beautiful, sustainable aluminum bottle, which it's the only one out there. But prior, you were in a glass bottle. Why don't you give us your apparel story for your tequila?
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe we launched officially in 21, and damn, it's coming up on 5 years. That's nuts. But yeah, when we were originally in glass, to Adam's point, we really were focused on additive free, and having a very competitive price point. And that's what we kind of led with. Oh, we're Donata additive free tequila, uh, priced really well. But I feel as if we we weren't leading with who we were and with what we were. And we had a lot of wins at first, like a lot of wins, because it was getting just out of lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
And so me and Adam, get hand gifted, well, gifted personally these beautiful boxes with 2 Donata bottles, a shirt, and a hat to like 30 of the best bartenders, in the States, just to kind of support them in lockdown, get their feedback on on the tequila and whatnot. And then from there, when bars started to open up, restaurants, we got a lot of wins. We got in over 100 accounts, but over time, more additive free tequilas started to come to the market, which is a good thing. I think it's great that additive free tequila is at the forefront now. But I remember speaking to an industry friend and saying, "You have such a great name, but I'm going to be very transparent in that your bottle is not great."
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're not honoring your name of what Donata stands for.
Mm-hmm.
And so, me and Adam, thankfully, we love criticism. We love honest feedback, because if you're going to be biased and you don't listen to feedback, you're going to go nowhere.
Right.
So me and Adam actually did speak to each other. Like, our bottle is kind of stock. It's a beautiful oxygen bottle. A lot of other brands use them. But we had to do a deep dive into like, okay, like what are we missing here? And Adam can get into the next steps there, but it was a vital moment for us in Donata.
Yeah, I mean that was the first epiphany we kind of had that maybe we could pivot and rethink our initial vision. I mean, when we first launched, as Danny said, with additive free, that was great, but it almost became a starting point. And we tried to do a deep dive into our brand and figure out, why we exist. And Danny alluded to this earlier with hospitality. But there's also the sustainability component that has been driving our entrepreneurship endeavors since we first started. So we went on this year long, actually year and a half long process to rethink our packaging and see how sustainable we can make the bottle and how unique we can become for the category. And that led us to where we are today, which is the aluminum package. It's completely unique. It's more sustainable than glass. And most importantly, I think it demonstrates that we're the spirit of hospitality. Every part of our bottle is doing something that has meaning behind it, whether it's the tequila being additive free or the package being fully recyclable aluminum, or the fact that it just looks really nice and is a cool gift to give others. We think it fits the Donata name and the original vision more than what we initially launched with. And it took us a while to get to that point, but we're always trying to check ourselves and rethink our initial assumptions.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I mean, the packaging is stellar. It's always stands out on camera. It stands out on the back bar. I love it. It is, and going back into the hospitality part, it's not heavy. So for the bartenders, I'm sure they love using it. You also chose a different unique size for the package. Do you want to talk about that? Because I see a lot of brands switching from 750 over to 700s. What makes you decide that? Is it a cost thing? Is it a different, unique industry idea that you guys saw as another void that was going to set you apart? What made you guys choose that size?
I mean, so it just so happened that when we were redoing our packaging, the TTB had recently changed the guidelines where they allowed for 700 ml in the
Okay.
US. This is a common sizing format internationally, and our assumption, our prediction is that more brands are going to become 700 ml. It makes a lot more sense to have international capabilities and all kind of be under the same guidelines. And And then, we could launch a liter, 1.5 liter, and maybe smaller formats down the line. So it was a mix of just trying to be ahead of the curve with a lot of the changing rules and regulations with the industry. And there has been pushback on lots of parts of our bottle, it being aluminum, 700, but you're not going to please everybody, and we just really wanted to do something different and unique.
Yeah, but going back to not pleasing everybody, and also where you touched on loving or liking or being open to feedback, when we worked, well, let me back up. So I met these dynamic tequila duo, Adam and Danny, through our friend Mike Zig. Shout out to Mike. He's like my honorary agent and spokesperson, and he linked us up when you guys had changed the bottle and you were looking for a bigger footprint in retail chains. So I helped start that. And yes, there were challenges and pushback with the size, but there was another retailer that had an issue with the cork. And I brought that to you guys and said, I know you already have all these bottles made, but I don't know if you're interested in this chain. We all believed that it fit the product perfectly. And you took that feedback like a champ, and you were like, we're going to do it. We're going to change the corks. They don't like them. We're going to fix it. And that's huge because, again, that's going back to your mission. You guys want to please the hospitality industry, and your mission is to be here for the long run, right? You don't want to just have this random product here today, gone tomorrow. You want it to be around for a long time, just like those stories that Danny referred to about the hospitality experiences in his childhood at his home. So I love that. I appreciated it. Obviously, the client appreciated it. So that is huge. And I think that's kudos to you guys for doing that, because a lot of people wouldn't. They would just say, okay, great, move on,
100%. You gotta, I think with something so different, it's amazing to have feedback, even if it's positive or negative, because when the feedback is so, if it is negative or it's out there, it shows you're actually doing something right. You're bringing an emotion out of somebody, because I think a lot of people just want to fit the norm, fit the bill, and that's great. There's brands that want to look like they're a brand with other brands, and they could be successful. But I think in this day and age, when you're a trailblazer and you're doing something that's never been done before, it's highly criticized because it's people aren't used to it. But you see that those brands now that we look up to, Liquid Death, Box Water, numerous other brands that are really changing the game. And now look at them.
Yeah.
They're killing it. And what's most important is like they're just doing something that's unique to them. And I think for me and Adam, there could be some tweaks, like you said, with the cork, fix that. There could be some other things that, we're always going to try and improve to make sure the bottle is the best it can be. But the feedback that is like, oh, it's aluminum, it feels light, or I can't see the liquid. Those are the feedback where, it's maybe someone who's a bit more classic and not forward thinking, and that's okay. But it's been a great experience so far.
It's amazing. So you guys are going to come out with an añejo in January. What color is the bottle going to be? Can we share that?
I have it here. I want to show you on your podcast.
Oh, you guys are so sweet. I love you guys. Oh my God. That is
like
sexy. Black
007.
Wow. I love it. Adam, Danny, that's
Trying to hold it up
gorgeous.
again to the side.
This one?
Oh,
so beautiful. It's stunning. And it's very Chanel, boys. I didn't even know this was happening. I'm mad.
Honestly, this is a great collab. Chanel and Yeho.
This is awesome. Thank you for saving that for me. You guys are such dolls. I love you. That's so sweet. I am so excited. I need to try it. Tell me about the añejo. How long has this been in the works?
We've been hearing so much requests from the industry. When is the añejo coming out? It's been in the works for well over a year. We've had the design kind of drawn up for well over a year, so we kind of knew on the design front what we were going to do. But the añejo is actually that 1414 makes is so beautiful. Unlike most añejos that are very dark, oaky, caramel, a lot of flavor profile, this is a very clean añejo. It's not so heavy on the color, so you're gonna have a a beautiful entry, very smooth, but you will get like a little bit of those classic añejo notes. But for me, I think it's even more dangerous because you're gonna want to
Keep
have
sipping.
quite a few, you know?
That's good though. That's good for us. Keep
Absolutely.
buying more, keep drinking more. That's amazing. Thank you guys for sharing that with me. God
Sure.
bless you. Ben was sneezing. We can edit it. I can't be rude. I have to say God bless you.
No, it's
Okay, I'll roll back into something else. We never touched on where Donata came from. Is the name just as simple as it means, you're welcome? Or was there more thought behind that? Did we troubleshoot other names?
Yeah. So going back to the hospitality aspect of Denata, when we were thinking of names, we initially were actually thinking Pine Tequila as
Okay.
an extension of our clothing line, because we wanted the sustainability aspect, and I think it would have been cool. Like at the time, we were like, this is going to be amazing. Pine Tequila, it makes so much sense. And then we thought about it, and we also going back to the feedback thing, and we were like, you know what, this name kind of sucks. Also, like, there's no notes of pine in our tequila, so
Right.
Dan and I were like, you know what, we probably should pivot. And we, after like a lot of discussion, and we worked with some amazing people, we landed on Denata, which means you're welcome. It's Mexico's expression of hospitality, which really fits our brand. And also with the hyphen, it means of nothing. And that ties back to the no additives and no impact aspects of our brand. So we think it's a perfect name, and we're thankful we got the trademark for it.
That's amazing. It is the perfect name. I love it. It looks beautiful. Like I said, the font is perfect. So we referenced how we met, and then I want to talk about what's been happening since I exited. I exited on my own free will with you guys, and we are in such a wonderful spot with what happened, why I moved on, why you guys moved on. You had a big deal happen. Please explain it to the audience what happened with you guys, because it is also not a small task to undertake. What happened to you guys is huge for, you've been doing this. You said you're going on year 5, but with the new package, it was less than 2 years, right? So that's a big deal. What happened? So for those of you who didn't look on LinkedIn or don't follow the brands, Adam and Danny share with the audience what happened with Donata. One of you?
I got it. So
I was just like frozen there for a second.
yeah, we landed a really unique deal, and thanks to you, Joey, as well for helping facilitate it and making it happen. But it's with a company called Luxury Spirits International. It's an extension of the rum Flor de Caña, and this allows us to act under an agency structure with them to launch in all markets across the United States with their respective distributors, and also now have boots on the ground in each territory, which was really important to us. It's tough to launch a market, especially an on-premise, without people on the streets there. So we're really thrilled to be with them now. It's a big step for us, and it's one of those things that feels like a good stepping stone that we were lucky to land at the time that we did.
That's amazing. So what's the latest that you guys can fill me in with? Do we have any new placements that are super exciting? A fun menu that we're looking to almost land that we can share, or anything that you think is exciting to share with your girl?
What's been great is, just to Adam's point, is having that kind of big brother, big sister looking out for you, like helping you, guiding you, and giving you structure, which is awesome. But I would say the biggest like wins as of recent is launching in new territories, which is we were already in, obviously, Florida and California when we were working together, and Texas, but actually on like an on-premise level. So that's been great. We opened up Arizona. I know Illinois was there. Arizona, I said Colorado, South Carolina, Oklahoma, Hawaii, which is kind of
Wow,
funky.
Hawaii, so fun.
That they wanted Donata, which is great, and obviously LSI has the distribution there, so that's locked in. But I would say some of like the biggest wins in terms of the on premise is Ray's Hometown Bar, which is a really, really popular bar here in New York, very popular in the East Village and in Brooklyn. We're getting in there in Miami. Freehand Hotel has a great bar called Broken Shaker, and they have them in Illinois, in California. So we're getting in there. And I think I don't want to like put it out there, but I think we are landing a potential cocktail at Nobu in New York
Wow.
at both locations, which is awesome.
That's major.
And then working on potentially doing some stuff with Coat
Nice.
at their new spots in Miami and Vegas, but that's very preliminary. So we're really excited for this opportunity. I mean, we got for the first time we saw a text from Beth, who works at LSI, our first cocktail placement in Texas, and it's mind blowing. It's like these are the little victories that are get us so hungry and excited for what's ahead, and it's been an amazing past few months. It's been truly great.
I love that.
Thanks
But
to
you
you,
left
Joey.
out my favorite placement, which was simultaneous or a little before the LSI deal, the stadium.
Oh yes, MetLife. That
Hello.
that's been amazing. Apart from the Jets' performance so
I
far,
know.
oh, it's been a disaster.
Ugh,
But you know
I
what?
know.
Seeing Donata is the home run. That's the Hail Mary right there. It's been great. You know, and surprisingly, we're available in all the suites there, so in all the boxes, and on the mezzanine level. We're still working on expanding to like all the other kiosks. But the one I would say win there is that we're the number one selling tequila, I think, in all the boxes in terms of on bottle service, because
Right.
we're listed on the menu just like cheaper than Casamigos and then the more premium brands like Clase Azul. So people are trying us and clearly reordering it because the liquid speaks for itself.
And the performance of the Jets don't help, so it helps
Exactly. So people are
consumption.
drinking more.
It's great for the cocktails.
Exactly.
Oh, I love it. I know you guys invited me to go. I got to come see it in live in person. The photos look amazing. The posts on social look amazing. I think that's a huge undertaking and you guys achieved that. And it's all kudos to your personalities. You guys have such charisma. You guys are really likable, and on my last episode, I was talking about that with Jen Opie from Breakthrough. We were talking about, it's about the people. And as you touched on a little bit in the past, you guys are really happy to have this big brother, big sister situation with LSI. And I find that with, like I said about Mike recommending me, it's about your network. It's about who you know, but it's also you maintaining those relationships. And as great as the juice is in the Donata bottles, that is going to be what's sustainable, right? It's keeping those relationships going long after maybe the menu placement is gone for whatever reason, whether the place closes or someone comes in and pays for that menu placement and you get kicked off, which happens in our industry. It's very important. And you guys have it. You guys obviously had it together when you met. And you continue to be business partners, which could be a challenge. You're still friends and your friendship comes first, which is major. And I'm very excited to have gotten to be a part of you guys' story. I'm always going to continue to watch and see how big tequila grows and the new heights that happen after this. And I'm so happy about the Añejo. I'm going to try that soon. Is it coming out in January in stores, or you're just launching it and then we have to wait a little longer?
So we're going to put together a nice little launch party. Of course, your invite will be in the mail.
Thank you.
That's in the works. So definitely going to do a fun like little launch party. My idea with it is, we do have good visibility around New Year's with Andy and Anderson that
Right.
drank tonight on the ball drop, and I think there is like a beautiful correlation between an añejo sitting in a barrel for 1 year and then also celebrating the past year, all the key moments, the milestones, personally, professionally, whatever. So I think it would be cool to kind of have some collaboration between New Year's and an añejo that embody, a whole year
Super special. I
moments.
love
So
that.
keep you posted. And then obviously, we hope it can roll out. I think it's going to do really well in great on-premise locations that are a bit more, I would say, high-end, trendy, cigar bars, steakhouses, social clubs, lounges, stuff like that. But I'm excited. It's going to be cool.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous. So you tapped on the Anderson and Andy of it all. those of you that don't know who he's talking about Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen. They love Nada. They've had us on their ball drop show and held the bottle up, which is unreal. And so yeah, that would be amazing. How fun would that be for you guys? And it is very kismet. It's very serendipitous, if you will, with the Añejo name.
That should be cool.
I look forward to it. It's going to be delicious, I'm sure. Where are we thinking it's going to sit price point wise?
It'll be a bit higher, around $70. But you know, it's well worth it, especially for the quality. It takes a lot longer to make. And if you look at the gnome and the aspects of it where it sits price wise, it definitely punches well above its weight. So we're excited to roll that out.
Also, I forgot to mention,
This
is blue, the Agavos Awards, Adam. That was big.
So yeah, I was gonna circle back on that. That was another big moment last year. Well, this year. Talk about it, Adam. You were so excited to send us the medal when you saw it online, or you got it in an email. That's a big deal too for a younger brand.
You know, there's so many award shows, and look, it's great to win an award. I'm not going to bash any brands for doing so, but there's a little bit of dilution now with just brands posting gold medals, and consumers don't really know what that means. The Agavos Awards was started by the tequila matchmaker community, which is the only body that actually verifies what tequilas are additive free. So it has the top tequila aficionados across the category. And in the inaugural competition, we won double gold for our Blanco and gold for our Reposado. But what was even cooler to us, which we found out later, was for the Blanco, we came in the top 3 of all tequilas. And this is against brands like Fortaleza level, all the classic brands, which is an honor to us to score that high in a blind tasting. But we're really proud of that, and I think it speaks a lot about the quality of our liquid and the integrity of what we've been building.
Absolutely. And you can't, for those of you who are listening that aren't in the liquor industry, what Adam's referring to is some of these awards, you can just, submit your product. You don't really know quality control, how it happens, if they actually sample it or not, or if they just mail you a medal because you submitted it and you sent them a sample. Some people, there's some competitions you pay to register and you get an award just because, it's just not as quality controlled. And that is a big honor. So it's another stamp of approval on, like he said, his juice and the quality of their product. And it's again, it sounds like, we're rattling off all these facts and achievements as if they just come easily to you guys, but it's been 5 years in the making, and it's been mistakes and learning curves and changing caps and all of those things. And that is a beautiful part of your story, because you guys stayed true to who you are and your mission and what you were trying to achieve and deliver to the consumer. And I'm so proud of you. And for all of you guys who do not have a Total Wine or a Specs, or you don't live in New York or New Jersey, where these guys are predominantly based, and you could still order Nada Tequila online. And eventually, hopefully, the Añejo will be online as well. Maybe we'll do a fun little three bottle gift pack for the holiday or something, maybe coming up for Cinco. That would be fun.
That'd be cool. That'd be epic.
And it sounds like we might be doing other sizes, and we might be doing minis, or who knows what's going to come up next. So make sure to follow Nada on Instagram and keep up with what their journey is going to look like for the next year or so. Before I let you guys go, I like to play a couple games if you're up for it. You could plead the fifth. Kudos to your friend Andy. I like to always ask this question about if you guys could have a drink with someone, alive or dead, industry professional or not, who would it be and what would be the drink?
Ooh. That's a really good question.
Thank you.
You want me to go first? I would have a drink with Billy Joel, because
Nice.
I play the piano. I love music, and I think he's just the best. I also just watched his documentary, and that further, I think, validates that he's really a cool guy. And I think he's a drinker, so I think it'd be a fun time.
Yeah. What's your favorite top 3 Billy Joel songs?
Top three. I like them all. I mean, I like Scenes from Italian Restaurant. I like Vienna. Um, I like Piano Man, even though it's overplayed and classic. It's it always gets the crowd going.
Love it.
All right,
Our,
so this is like really random. So there's an actor from Gladiator. Have you seen Gladiator?
yeah, back in the day. But only thing I remember from Gladiator is Brad Pitt.
Okay.
Wasn't it Brad Pitt, right? Yeah.
Russell Crowe, I think.
Oh, Russell Crowe. Yeah. See, I don't
There,
even remember. That's like a dude's movie.
No, it's so there's this actor who if in it he kind of plays the gladiator like owner. He owns like Russell Crowe's character. He's a
Okay.
famous actor named Oliver Reed.
Okay.
He died during the filming of Gladiator in Malta. And
Wow.
this kind of sounds like, but he was a really great actor. But he died kind of like a industry death because he saw on holiday while filming, went to Malta for the weekend and saw these three Royal Navy British sailors off duty off their ship at a pub, and he decided to do a drinking competition with them,
What?
and he drank everyone under the table until he died.
Holy shit.
Sounds so fucked, but he had like 12 beers, a whole bottle of rum, and I think like 10 like it was insane. And for me in the bar they have the receipt of all the drinks he ordered and everything. For
Wow.
me, like I would love to have like a drink with him, and it would probably be a nice cold pint of beer. That
Wow,
would
that's crazy.
it's
Yeah,
kind of
Adam,
random.
you didn't tell us your cocktail of choice.
Oh, with Billy, whatever he wanted. I mean, I would suggest Nada, but I feel like he's more of a bourbon guy.
Yeah, that he gives me that vibe for sure. That's okay. We could convert him.
Yeah.
So funny. That is so random, Danny, and such a Danny answer. It's hilarious. I
I
can't.
just feel like damn, like that's like it seems like one of those just like loud guys that just would be funny to just
You definitely came up with that answer on one of your retreats. That's so funny.
probably.
Yeah, I was like, how do you even know that story? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
Like,
nuts.
what made
It's
you deep
nuts.
dive him?
No, because like I just love that movie, and then I was like, even though it was so sad that he clearly had like drinking problems,
Yeah.
the fact he like died like in a drinking competition with like Navy English like sailors is just kind of
Badass.
funny in a dark way.
Yeah, you're hilarious. That is so funny.
I'm
Oh
like
my
that guy
God.
seems like a legend to have a beer with.
It's hilarious. Oh my
Uh,
God. Listen, I definitely didn't think that was going to be your answer for sure.
God,
Changing my answer to Danny's guy. That guy
yeah,
sounds like a good
exactly.
time.
Yeah, right?
I do love Jack Black though. I think in real terms, I think Jack Black's
That's Ben's guy. He likes him.
oh he's
They
the
look
best.
similar.
And you would drink probably I would drink like the most fruitiest cocktail with him.
For sure. And then you
Like
guys could jam out. Adam could play the piano.
exactly.
I'll get my earbuds and I'll sing, right? One of
Yeah.
you plays the
100%.
drums.
What about you, Joey? What would be
You're
Bad
sweet.
Bunny?
I honestly, let's see. Now I feel like I have to have pressure on my answer. Like it's got to come correct. Why don't we just go with the obvious, right? Let's say Coco Chanel. It would be cool
Oh,
to
yeah.
meet the person I was namesake after. Tell her the story of how my parents honeymooned in her old apartment, but when it was available to be a room at the hotel at the Ritz in Paris. That's how my middle name came to be, because my first name's after my dad, and my mom thought that that would be a great idea. And so Chanel was the middle name. I would love to have a drink with her. She's French, so it has to be something French. Or maybe like, I don't know, some martini sort
What
of
is that,
thing. I would
French
totally
70s?
pull the Adam and do whatever she said, even though it would probably be something I would not want to drink. But
Yeah.
I'd be happy if it was a really nice glass of champagne. That would be very classy, sitting, looking at the Eiffel Tower. I would like that.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah. But I would love to tell her that story. Like, do you know how many people are named after you and how iconic you are? And, I think that's pretty cool.
So cool. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Thanks for asking me, though. Nobody
No,
ever
I was
asks me. I
curious.
appreciate that. You guys have been a pleasure. Is there anything else you want to get off your chest that we didn't touch on that is important to you?
Vikings seem to be. I'm shocked you didn't go to Dublin for the Vikings game. Were you
Guys, I
contemplating
would
it?
have, but my son had a game. We are going to go, though. Well, he doesn't listen to the podcast in full, but I'm surprising him for his birthday. We're going to go in December when they play the Washington Commanders. So that'll be a fun
That'll be a
game. And it'll
great
be
game.
cold.
That'll be amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, my Vikings are playing amazing. Thank you for talking about them. And my Dolphins beat the Jets the other day, so that was nice.
In the most embarrassing way we lost. Oh,
listen.
Yeah.
I was there. I was at the game. I
No, I
saw
remember
the
you were
whole
like, "Oh, I'm
thing.
selling tickets," and I'm like, "I wonder if Joey ended up going." I was
I
like,
did. I ended up going. I have 4 seats for season tickets. So the last 2, I wasn't going to bring my sons because it was a Monday night. It's late. They had school. And I ended up, this is such a Joey thing. I made friends when I first got season tickets with this man and his son. They were there where we were for autographs early. And he was so kind. His son was navigating mine over to the front to everybody and kind of going like this, like, get him, get him, get him. It was so nice. And I did the total Joey thing. I found them online and added them and kept in touch. And we've been friendly for the last 3 years. And he lives far away, like 4 hours plus, but still has season tickets and still comes to all the games if he can. And he was coming down with his partner, and I asked them to come sit with us, and we had the best time.
That's amazing.
So,
That's
yeah.
so cool.
So fun.
Moment.
Well, guys, I'll be there at the launch party for sure, trying to Nada Añejo. And I'm so happy you came on Sippin and Selling. I appreciate both of you. Enjoy the rest of your beautiful Wednesday and the rest of your week. And I'll see you guys when I see you, hopefully in New York, if not in sunny Florida. And thank you guys for tuning in to Sippin and Selling with Adam Millman and Danny Neeson. Take care.
Thanks, Joey.
Bye.
Thanks, Joey. You're the best.
Thank you.